Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Before we do a quick update, do me a favour, there's 400 to 600 of you guys watching within the first 24 hours. Smash the like button for me, let's see if we can get a video up to the 150, 200 likes. I didn't realise, but there's 150 likes on one of the videos from recent, and I'm shocked. I didn't think any of them had more than 100. So yeah, there's up to 600 of you watching. So hit that like button, let's get the channel boosted a little. I am the Motorcycle Rescuer and this is Motorcycle Rescuer. So guys, we were just looking at this and something came to us. We hadn't broken into this one yet. Number plate. I now need to check, John, if that plate matches that fin. If it does, I can get a logbook fairly easily, or just kind of sell it and it not look so stolen once I've got a lock set for it. My guess is because this is so kind of junked really, although the side panel's nice. We've got the side panel. I mean, really, the parts are all here. The airbox is here. I'm surprised, really, guys. It's actually all the parts are here to make this a functioning bike. That's unbelievable. That could be quite a fun project. New starter motor. Actually, no, the carb is junk. I remember. The carb on this one is junk, but any parts we might need, we can get off here. My kind of hope was that there'd be a key in here for the lock set for the ignition, you know, on this one. But that is extremely high hopes. So back to this one. Let's get the cover off and see what's going on. That's great. I mean, we have a plate there. We even have, you know, who sold it whenever, probably from new. And my guess is that plate is for this bike. I'd be shocked if it wasn't. Okay, guys. So we've seen the system similar to this before. You take this clip off when you take all these innings off, and then we should have a bolt behind that, or not. Some of them do, some of them don't. And then we should be able to look and just clean all the rollers out and stuff. The belt looks kind of okay at this point. The clutch seems fine. That's doing its job, so I'm not worried about that. It's this area we're looking at. Just because the fact that it revs all nicely, but then doesn't like the top end, is a little bit concerning. That's all. I just wonder. It feels like it could be drivetrain related. So we'll check under there. It might even have a washer in there, restrictor, and we'll see what's going on. Okay, so we've talked about all this not long ago. I think I did it on a Piaggio or something, but it all has to be clean. It's a bit gunky, and it was very tight in there. And look, it really, at a certain point, look, it's very stiff, so it does need a good clean. And this is a bolt-on one, so it probably would have been packed with grease, and that will all need cleaning out. So I'm going to take this apart, clean it all out, and we'll see what we're looking at. If the rollers are squared off, we can turn them on this occasion, but next time we can put new ones in. And yeah, they do their basic job. I won't put any grease in because, you know, modern rollers don't need it, but I'm going to get it all cleaned up. WD-40 is fine, a bit of polishing, Autosol's fine, just polish it all up to help it kind of on its way. I'm not going to film that, we're just going to know it's being done. Alright guys, so we're back on, we're all polished up. It's not necessarily the full fix. It's not necessarily the full fix, but it may help. Otherwise, I think the carb might need a little bit more work. And the other thing is, it's E10 in here, and they just don't like cheap fuel anyway, let alone E10. So some premium might help. for now, I'm going to take it out, give it a quick spin, and see if, I'll let you know, but see if it will get me to full throttle a little bit easier. It may do, because it was doing it off the stand. It was doing it on the stand even. Just wasn't when it was weighted. So I'm going to give it a quick spin and we'll see how we look. Same issue there, guys, and it actually cut out. There is fuel flow though, so I don't know what's going on there. They're just very temperamental little machines. Also, John's saying spark. I'll clean the plug just in case, but it seems okay. It might even be a new one. I will give it a bit of a clean just in case there's something going on there. At the moment, I'm okay because that's good. That's great. The Valiant just needs me to put it back together tomorrow. So I'm not too overly worried about this one, but it would be nice to get it running a little bit better. It feels like fueling to me, as in it feels like jetting to me. So I might need to play with the main jet, because at the moment when I go to full throttle, it don't like it. In fact, when I get back, I'm going to clean the spark plug and try it without the airbox and see if it runs better. But we're having a break. Right, here's my little need list: battery, airbox, lock set, high temp paint. That appears to be it. 2 new tyres fitted, potentially rear panel. I think there's one on there for 25 quid. Possibly front left clutch lever, although that's not too bad. Look at the pricings of front lights, but not overly fussed at this stage. So yeah, that's kind of it for this stage, and then I'll throw the Valiant together. Alright, and then I'll throw the Valiant together tomorrow. I think tomorrow's video will be the Valiant, or well, not necessarily tomorrow's video, but yeah, cool.
The next day.
Let's get some updates on the bikes before we move on. I'm trying to do a video every day this week because it's a half term and it's there's a couple of bank holidays. It's the Jubilee party on Thursday, blah blah blah. Let's get some updates as to what we're doing. So the Zontes, I have ordered a rear tyre, not the front, because I am low on funds. Rear tyre and left clutch lever, and I'm currently watching a rear red panel, but they're just asking a little bit too much, so I'm just trying to get that within a slightly better budget. But I will probably buy the rear red panel because there's a bike over there kind of worth £1,000, I think, although technically I would have put a few pounds into it. Right, secondly, this one, we've been discussing with some of you about the double filament bulb. We're both right to some degree. Some systems use both bulbs coming on. They definitely have in the past, but I think these particular bulbs, the H4s, are they? I think they aren't great at holding the double filament. But I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not messing with it at this stage, and I'll tell you why. This is probably going to be a London bike. London's lit up 24/7. The high beam's going to be used for flashing, for showing I'm coming past. That's the truth. So I am going to put this back together and connect it up. I'm not going to mess with the wiring anymore. At the moment, we've got a low light, which will be fine all the time. Then we've got a high beam for when we need it. And if the bulb blows out, it can be upgraded to a bulb that's designed to use both at the same time. They are out there. You could even put an LED one in there if you were really fussed, and that would deal with the heat much better. Secondly, this bike could technically be ready for MOT tomorrow. It's just all a little bit niggly at the moment. I don't know, it's been such a big old project that I'm struggling to follow myself as to what's needed. But I think it was wiring, so I think we have the majority of stuff done now. I am just going to recheck the rear lights, the brake lights, the MOT stuff. And then if that's good, I'm going to be bolting this back together to make a full-time bike that is kind of road legal. And then if I was extremely lucky, this could go to an MOT tomorrow. and if it passed, I remember we've lost the logbook for this, but I'd be filling out the 362, but technically this could be sold tomorrow. Between 850 and a grand should be okay. It starts and rides beautifully, guys. I've been starting it up this week. Carb's holding the fuel like it should. Everything's kind of good to go. So, and it's much better than the original EFI system on it. So right now, I'm going to double check the electrics again, all of them, front and back, horn, etc. If that's good, I'm going to be bolting it back up as a full-time bike. However, any wiring I've touched, I'm going to be taping. I want everything to be secure. So I'm going to get everything taped up and tucked away. And then we will technically have a bike that's kind of on the button later today. Ideally, I'd like to put the battery on charge for a bit, because it's been, you know, it's been taking up a lot of the wiring work. So I'll boost the battery, and then it should be good to go. Just kind of while discussing the bikes, the 73 Triumph, new coil, new HT leads and coils, not coils, HT leads we've ordered. Final piece of the puzzle. We've tried new carbs, right side doesn't seem right. We've tried new coils, right side doesn't seem right. We've gone from oh god, points to electric ignition, right side doesn't seem right. And it's not compression that's not right, we've tested it. It's actually, we can pop the right spark plug and the left keeps firing. We can put it back on, pop the left, and the right cuts out. So the right just isn't exactly on point at this stage. However, it is firing because you can feel the sparks. So there's something not quite right with the right side on that bike. We're hoping the new coils and leads resolves that issue. The Vespa, brilliant bike. I'm still tempted to, if I can build up enough money within these builds, to buy it. Although I have got somebody who wants to view it in 2 weeks, and I'm quite happy to sit on it for 2 weeks because he's a nice guy. We've been discussing it, and guys, I can't tell you how many dodgy scammers and young kids basically want to scam this bike away. It's shocking, it's unbelievable. So you've really got to filter out the trouble. The 50cc 2-stroke wasn't running too well yesterday. One of you said get the E10 out. You're absolutely right, I am going to drain it out today. In fact, I'm going to be draining the Triumph and the tank out to make sure we've got premium in both before we continue with any tuning. So there's a kind of basic update with some of the stuff we'll be doing today, but this is going to be my focus for now. And if there's some things that annoy me, like look, this side stand just flaking, I think I'll be popping it off or doing something on here later, and then using some sort of thick, probably hammerite or similar, to coat it, because it needs to be protected. Okay, right, let me just go through the wiring system. Okay guys, so a bit of cleaning and wax on the panels, but when I mounted the front lights, I realised it's all off a little bit. If you look at the brackets, they're off a little bit, so I need to kind of straighten them out. What holds them on? Oh, they sit in the frame. So I'll just give them a little bit of bending back into shape so that it's not tilted to a funny side. But the tank is bolted down, which is good. The front light is all working. The bulb's a little bit temperamental. It's a bit temperamental, but it will be fine. We're getting there. This is what today is about. Today is about getting the Valiant kind of up and ready as much as possible for an MOT. So that's what today is about. If I need to buy another bulb, I will. There's no issues there. I'll go to Halfords later. And yeah, I think it's getting there. It's a nice bike. I really like it. So I do want it to do, you know, what it's meant to do. So there you go guys, after a bit of fettling. It's just that these metals are quite soft behind, so you have to kind of get them back into shape. But we do have a straight light there, or at least as straight as I can get it. Yeah, it's looking good. I need to get some black insulation tape for all of this, because I've only got red and red just wouldn't work. So I'll pick up some black. What's next for me on here? Let's get the seat bolted down. And then I'm still a little bit bothered by the kind of flaking down here. It just really lets the bike down. I might have some black spray. I'll see. I think I'm gonna flake it off and try and black it up a little bit, just because it lets it down at this stage.